Hey everybody, Hugh here. Welcome back. Well, it's early January, and as always in early January, we're enjoying any spots of colour that come our way, however brief or small that they are. Here in the courtyard area, you can see the emphasis is very much on texture and foliage for interest. This is a north facing courtyard where everything is grown in pots. So the expectation of having a lot of colour at this time of year is minimal. So literally everything is bonus. You can see some of the snowdrops have come back up. They seem to enjoy quite well in those pots actually. And there's a little blue hyacinth there as well. Not quite sure where that little red mushroom came from. That's because we're expert growers, huh? Of course, it's a little metal one that I made a wee while ago. And as we were clearing out a few days back, it was nice to go over to some of the bulb pots and see the fresh shoots coming up. Now I know there's no flowers there, and for some of the pots it will be another 2 months before we see anything, but the fact that there's fresh green shoots is always lovely. As I say, I have done away with some of the pots and plants because they've gone past their best. They were very much sort of autumn winter selection. The likes of, there's one that survived. We've cut it back, a little herbaceous lobelia, but still a strong emphasis on grasses there. And they're the ones that sit to the side of the courtyard during the summer months, and then they're redeployed at this time of year. The little black one and a couple of the carex then, so the white and the reds, and also in the evergreen winter interest we've got the likes of the hebes, which are enjoying the sort of the shelter of the courtyard. I didn't know whether they'd do well in this sort of site because they do love a bit of sunshine along by the sea, and sunshine and sea are not something that they're getting here. But they're motoring along, so if they're happy, we're happy to have them. And of course some heathers, they were the bargains from this time last year. They were €2 a pot, so again just a bit of interest. And my favourite Thuya Orianana, another bluish grass, but I think it's more brown than blue. And of course that rocking chair, that repurposed rocking chair, which I think if anyone tried to rock it now they'd end up on their backsides. The emphasis is definitely moving away from some of the smaller pot plants into the bigger pot plants, and we'll see that continue this year as some of those shrubs that we got, acer and acers, are bigger, so they'll fill out a lot more space, so we don't need to rely on the smaller ones quite so much. Another a nice combination there of a bluish glauca hebe and another carex. This particular plant that has no leaves is that stunning acer that we saw so much of last year. Again, it'll be repotted into a slightly bigger pot, not too much bigger, slightly bigger pot, as we do every year, and it will go into the tunnels or the glass house. It'll go into one of the grow houses in spring once the leaves burst, because frosts do damage them, so we like to enjoy them, as you know. Of course, now that I'm trying to get back into the habit for the updates, because I wasn't around for November, December, I'll do a grow house update as well. And of course getting the mini potager sorted, or the potager sorted even. And can you see the catkins beginning to come out? The weeping willow, no, the phone is trying too hard to pick up and it's out of focus. But anyway, there's some nice catkins going on that. There's our pot pond. There is fish in there. There's a couple of goldfish and a shabunkin. We haven't seen much of them because the weather's been so cold. and they tend to sit down to the bottom of the water as at this time of year, with the water being so cold, so you won't see much of them at all. And interestingly, you can see there are some bits of green foliage on both the water lily and the iris. I did say to my brother I'd give him a piece of the water lily, but to wait for it to die back. It's like herbaceous. It is a herbaceous plant, not like a herbaceous plant, but it seems to be enjoying sort of a slightly sheltered position. More grasses, and no expenses spared. Windmill. There you go. And again, another one of the metal flowers that blows as the wind blows. It's seen better days, but a nice spot of colour, I suppose, for this time of year. And one of the winter flowering heathers Judith picked up in the autumn time. Fit into the yellow pot, looks very well there. And again down the bottom, not much to see there, but we did have more plants, and some of them just need to be moved on to other homes, to be honest. They've been in pots maybe for 3 or 5 years, and rather than pot them on, they just need to be planted out. Lovely camellia. And paintwork needs to be done on the wooden surround, but we'll wait till mid-spring at the earliest for all the wood to dry out. And again, another acer there, and a loganberry in behind it, and Uriop. Some of the lavender needs to be cut back down, and again they're cut back down and brought into the houses as well for a little bit of heat. And I'm not sure about potting them on. I was saying that they need to go. We need to get some other small lavenders, but they do put on such a lovely show. And verbus. So that's pretty much the courtyard conifers there, and there's some more acers there. Again, not much to see. It very much is that time of year, isn't it? Appreciating the textures and forms of the plants and any spots of colour that we do have. I'm very suspicious. There is a heuchera down there. Very suspicious of that, and vine weevils. A couple of others have been vine weevils, and they need to be checked. But anyway, all in good time. It's nice to just be out and sharing some of the garden. Get back into the habit now that we're back in January for the year ahead. You haven't missed too much with November, Decembers that I didn't do. Anyway, as always, do look after yourselves. Do take care this time of year, January. Some people struggle this month. I always enjoy it because it's so quiet after the madness of the Christmas. But whatever it brings for you, do take care, and sure, we'll see you on the next one. All the best for now. Bye bye.